Captain James Miller stared at the tactical display as the vast armada of human warships dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Proxima system. 300 vessels, from nimble frigates to the imposing dreadnoughts, formed up in perfect battle formation. The lead vessel, the HSS Vengeance, carried humanity's response to the Galactic Council's betrayal. "Status report," Miller commanded, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "All ships reporting ready, Captain," replied Lieutenant Anna Ree from her station. "Council defenses are scrambling, but they weren't expecting us. We have tactical advantage." It had been only 6 months since humanity learned of the Council's treachery. For decades, Earth had been a dutiful member of the interstellar community, sharing technology, resources, and participating in diplomatic missions across the galaxy. Humans were known for their adaptability and innovative thinking, traits that initially fascinated the older species. But behind closed doors, the Council had plotted against them. Intelligence Officer Tom Wilson had discovered the truth by accident while embedded in a routine cultural exchange on Proxima Prime, the Council's capital world. The 12 elder species had secretly agreed that humanity posed too great a threat to their established order. Humans advanced too quickly, questioned too much, and refused to simply accept the status quo. The Council had approved a sterilization protocol, a specialized bioweapon designed to target human DNA, rendering the entire species infertile within 1 generation. Council communication channels are in disarray, reported Communications Officer David Brown. "They're trying to hail us on all frequencies." Miller's face hardened. "Ignore them. They had their chance for diplomacy." When the evidence of the Council's plot reached Earth, humanity's response was swift and unified. The disparate nations, colonies, and factions that had often squabbled among themselves suddenly found common purpose. Military production facilities that had been dormant since the Great Peace of 2218 roared back to life. The Council had grossly underestimated human resolve and ingenuity. They had analyzed human conflicts throughout history, but failed to understand the fundamental truth about humanity. When truly threatened with extinction, humans became something else entirely, something terrible and magnificent. "Tactical status of Council Defense Fleet?" Miller asked. "Scattered, sir. Most of their capital ships are in other systems. They maintained minimal defense here, believing their location was secure through diplomatic protection," replied Tactical Officer Lisa Moore. The Council's arrogance had been their undoing. They had grown complacent over millennia of unchallenged rule, forgetting what it meant to face an existential threat. "Deploy the Thunderheads," Miller ordered. From the bellies of 20 human destroyers, swarms of autonomous combat drones emerged, each no larger than an ancient fighter jet, but carrying weapons that could cripple a cruiser. The Thunderheads had been developed in secret, the product of human paranoia that had once been mocked by Council representatives. No one was laughing now. On the massive central view screen, Miller watched as the first wave of Thunderheads bypassed the meager defensive screen and headed directly for the orbital installations surrounding Proxima Prime. Their primary target, the Council's headquarters, a massive ring-shaped structure that housed the representatives of the 12 elder species. "Sir, we're receiving a priority transmission from Admiral Johnson," said Brown. "Put her through," Miller replied. The stern face of Admiral Emma Johnson, commander of the Earth Defense Fleet, appeared on screen. "Captain Miller, the Council is attempting to broadcast a surrender offer. They claim they're willing to dismantle the bioweapon program and offer reparations." Miller's jaw tightened. "Too late for that, Admiral. We intercepted their internal communications. The bioweapon is already in the final testing phase." Johnson nodded grimly. "Proceed as planned, Captain. Earth stands with you." The Thunderheads reached their targets, dozens of precision strikes disabling the Council's defensive systems without destroying the station entirely. That wasn't the human way. Even now, they sought to minimize casualties while maximizing strategic advantage. "Launch the boarding parties," Miller commanded. From the troop carriers at the fleet's center, hundreds of drop pods streaked toward the now defenseless Council station. Inside each pod, human Marines in powered combat armor prepared to secure the facility and apprehend the Council members responsible for the planned genocide. Sir, multiple council vessels are jumping into the system, warned more. They recalled their fleets. Miller smiled grimly. Right on schedule. Activate the hyperspace inhibitors. Around the periphery of the system, specialized human ships activated devices that the Council had thought theoretically impossible, technology that disrupted hyperspace travel within the system. The arriving Council ships would be the last to enter. None would leave until humanity allowed it. When the Council had first met humans, they had dismissed them as primitive newcomers to the galactic stage. The human ships were crude, their weapons unsophisticated. But what the Council failed to recognize was humanity's greatest strength, their ability to learn, adapt, and overcome at a pace that frightened the elder species. Boarding parties have secured the Council chamber, reported Reed. All 12 Council members are in custody, no casualties on either side. Miller released a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. The first phase was complete. Open a channel to Earth Command, he ordered. As the connection established, Miller delivered the message that would reshape galactic politics forever. Command, this is Captain Miller. Operation Righteous Response is successful. The Council has been detained, their weapons secured, and their defensive capabilities neutralized. Humanity has demonstrated that we will not be exterminated quietly. The response from Earth was immediate. Well done, Captain. The diplomatic team is preparing to depart. Inform the Council that humanity is willing to negotiate new terms for our continued participation in galactic affairs. Miller closed the channel and gazed out at the stars. Humanity had never wanted war, but when threatened with extinction, they had proven why the Council should have feared them, not for their aggression, but for their determination to survive. The treachery of the Galactic Council had indeed triggered humanity's warship offensive, but in typical human fashion, even their vengeance came with an outstretched hand, ready to rebuild a better future. One where humanity would never again be vulnerable to the whims of those who feared their potential.